Greetings. I am Ajani Azebo Brown, a third-year business administration student from the Virgin Islands. The title of my article is United Nations Votes to Delay Rescheduling of Cannabis for Second Time in 2 Years. The United Nations recently delayed the vote to reschedule cannabis until December. This is the second time in 2 years that they have pushed the date back. However, this time it came amidst a global health pandemic which took us all by surprise. The voting, scheduled to take place in December, seeks to evaluate 6 primary recommendations on the legal classifications of cannabis. These recommendations, which were made by the World Health Organization, include 1. Delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol should be added to Schedule 1 of the 1961 Convention on Narcotic Drugs. 2. Delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol should be removed from the 1971 Convention on Psychotropic Substances. 3. The 6 isomers of tetrahydrocannabinol, chemically similar to Delta-9 THC, should be classified similarly to Delta-9. 4. Extracts and tinctures made from cannabis should be removed from Schedule 1 of the 1961 Convention, but that they should also be classified per the Act. In other words, extracts with THC should be considered narcotics with medical purposes and all dealt with per a single rule. 5. Cannabidiol products containing no more than 0.2% of Delta-9 THC should not be under international control. 6. Preparations with THC that are made as pharmaceutical products should be reclassified as Schedule 3 drugs per the 1961 Convention. These recommendations focus on promoting an environment where cannabis would be professionally prepared as a pharmaceutical drug. Consequently, the possession or consumption of the plant by patients or civilians would remain illegal, which becomes evident through the first recommendation. The first recommendation states that Delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, or THC, should be added to Schedule 1 of the 1961 Single Convention on Narcotic Drugs. The Single Convention on Narcotic Drugs is an international treaty that prohibits the production and supply of specific drugs with similar effects except under license for specific purposes such as medical treatment and research. Consequently, the recommendation would limit the production, distribution, and consumption of THC and THC products exclusively for medical and research purposes. Although the United Nations vote on the reclassification of cannabis may seem insignificant, it actually has a big effect on the globalization of cannabis. The World Health Organization sets the standard for medicine around the world. As a result, they have the potential to influence whether or not the use of cannabis as a medicine will become more accepted globally. It's also important to note the prevalent use of cannabis as an alternative medicine in our society today. Many states, including Florida, have some form of legal status for medicinal or recreational use. Furthermore, Canada recently made cannabis legal on a federal status. Although there are many state laws that permit the use of cannabis, it remains illegal on a federal status in the US. Ironically, it is a major source of tax revenue. As the popularity of cannabis as an alternative medicine or recreational activity continues to spread globally from countries like Canada and the Netherlands, who have legalized it federally, to countries such as the US and Mexico, who have some forms of legalization, the results of this vote will have an effect on the success of the globalization of cannabis. Specifically, this vote has the potential to raise the barriers to entry for the cannabis industry, making it almost impossible for independent firms to participate in the market. The market would solely be controlled by the government, who would distribute cannabis to patients solely for medical treatment and research purposes as they deem necessary.